Next up at UFC 297. I'm about to say some words I never thought I would say. We have Sean Strickland defending the middleweight championship of the world against Dricus Du Plessis. Sean Strickland, 28-5 overall. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that one-sided win over Israel Adesanya to win that belt just a few months ago. He's taking on Dricus Du Plessis, 20-2 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, riding an 8-fight win streak. And I mean, I say that sarcastically, but nobody thought Sean Strickland, even Sean Strickland didn't think he would be champion.
I thought we were both. I thought we were both on Sean against Izzy. I thought we were very. Yeah. No, you fucked everything.
I bet against both of these guys in their last fights. I bet on and picked Robert Whittaker. Actually, they both blew up the safety parlay. Pretty sure Robert Whittaker was in the safety parlay and Izzy was in the safety parlay. So that's 70% hit rate. The 30% of those losses came from these two.
And I don't think I've ever picked against or bet against Drake. I'm trying to remember it. I just don't remember a
definitely
time.
Not.
I
yeah,
would ever
definitely
be
not
against,
with a blown out, red faced alcoholic. Definitely wouldn't have done that. That would be crazy.
First of all, Darren Till should have won that fight. Nearly did win that fight a few times,
which actually is crazy. That's what he says we need to say about Dricus. But here's the thing. Here's this breakdown for this fight.
Bang!
Okay.
Bang!
I gotta wait for this now. Okay. Sean Strickland is a blue-collar striker. Nothing fancy about what this guy does. He comes forward. He puts on volume. He weaseled his way into a title fight, and he showed up when he needed to. He landed a big straight right. It wasn't quite an overhand. He landed that big straight right, dropped Izzy, and from that moment forward, he controlled the pace. He came forward. He stayed in Izzy's face. He never changes. This guy marches forward, lands well. He's got good striking. It's not just like reckless volume. It's tight. It's clean, and he stays in your face. He comes forward. He only spars in the gym, seemingly, so he's got the composure of somebody who's been in thousands of fights, because he basically has been. He's got that composure. He has that control. He can fight at volume for what feels like hours on end. We don't see too much grappling out of him. We don't see a lot of stuff out of him. We do know he can grapple. He's got some belt. I forget. He's not a black belt or something. He's actually He's a high belt in jiu-jitsu. I forget what the color is, but he's got a pretty high belt in jiu-jitsu.
Well, there's only a few.
Well, and I'm forgetting what the color is. Well, more than blue is... Hey, congrats.
So
anyway.
We got a 1 in 3 chance here.
Correct. Anyway, Sean Strickland, while everyone wants to focus on his striking, me included, he can grapple as well. And when he started his career, that's actually what he was, a 170-pound grappler. And he made the adjustments, and now he's a 185-pound striker who marches forward nonstop. He's taking on Dricus Du Plessis. This guy's a pretty good striker. He can work in some takedowns. He's very exciting to watch because he's explosive. He's got leg kicks, good grappler. He hunts for submissions. He looks for stoppages. His takedown defense definitely needs some work. And while he does continue to get quality wins, the fact that he beat Robert Whittaker is astonishing. He is getting win after win. He beat Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson goes over to PFL, huge underdog, boom, wins that fight.
Oh, that actually was at UFC 285.
Oh,
and,
fuck me.
I was actually at UFC 285 where I met Amanda Hebos. And I will tell you, seeing that towel come, I've never seen a corner throw in the towel for a fight, but they threw in the towel. And that was quite interesting to watch.
And where I was going with this is that while Dricus continues to get very good win after very good, beating Robert Whittaker the way he beat him was crazy. He is pretty sloppy, though. Dricus will come forward, reckless abandon, a bit sloppy, a bit loose, leaving himself exposed, but he is tough as hell. He will continue to pressure forward, and now that he had surgery and he can breathe through both nostrils, all of a sudden, cardio is not a concern for Dricus Du Plessis, but nobody can deny he's got power in his hands. He's got guts. He's got tenacity, and he will shoot a whole bunch of takedowns. And this is a very intriguing fight. No matter what side you're on, there are hundreds of people in the comments telling you that you're dead wrong. The comment section is wild. Everybody speaking in absolute fact. Like, it's absurd to fathom that Dricus could lose. It's crazy to think that Sean Strickland could lose. And I guess that's just the YouTube comment section in general. But The reality is I bet against both of these guys in their last fights. I tend to feel that both of them are a bit overrated. Sean Strickland being champion is crazy to me. Champion of the UFC is supposed to be the best fighter on planet Earth at that weight class. I don't think either one of these guys are the best middleweight on planet Earth. But what they are incredibly fun. They're exciting. This is a very good fight. I do think Dricus is going to win this fight. If Dricus is going to stand in front of Sean Strickland and try to technical kickbox, he's going to get smoked. Sean's going to light him up with his hands, continue to march forward, and beat him, no questions asked. But I think that Du Plessis is going to march forward, shoot takedowns, throw bombs, do all of those things. And while we did see some power out of Sean Strickland in his last fight, power from Sean Strickland is not like a thing that we normally get. I think Dricus is going to win this fight. I think he comes forward. I think he grinds, gets takedowns, stays in Sean's face. Sean is not going to like that. Dricus is going to be my pick, but low confidence because I fully recognize how insanely sloppy Dricus can be in some of these fights. So Dricus is the pick, but I'm just going to watch this fight and enjoy. I probably am going to bet that over 1.5 round line. What do you think, Jakey Boom Baloots?
Do you, is that Usman's arm on Sean Strickland? You know, they always Photoshop Usman's arm on everyone's belt. Is that his arm?
No. Why do they Photoshop Usman's arm?
They did to Leon just because they didn't have a picture with him with the belt, I guess. So it was.
So they just.
So I didn't know if that was Usman's arm as well. But listen, guys, I have been, and I said in my quick pick video, kind of the captain, the commander of the Dricus Du Plessis hate train, the ship, whatever you want to call it. I have been the leader for the last year and a half, however long it's been, about how overrated and how terrible this DDP guy was. I said he is the middleweight 185 version of Yuri Prohaska because Yuri and him are the exact same people. They just come in, they trust their chin, they're reckless, they're not super technical, but they will get in your face, they will stay in your face until they find a finish, and that's how both of them fight. And I said, when Yuri fought Alex, he will get exposed because Alex is just such a precise striker that you can't come in reckless because eventually you will get caught. That's exactly what happened. He got exposed. So I came in. Oh, guess what? Dricus Du Plessis about to fight Robert fucking Whitaker. One of the best strikers, not only in the division, but in the entire UFC. And not only is he a good striker, but he's a good counter striker. If you try to blitz in, he's right there. He can blitz in and stuff. It's such an accurate striker. I said there's no chance. There is zero chance that this fraud, overrated dude in DDP is gonna beat Bobby fucking Knuckles, a former champion, one of the best strikers UFC's ever seen. He fucking smoked him, dude. I mean, he fucking smoked him.
Bell to bell.
He got a takedown. He showed offensive grappling. He showed his power off. He just walked through Bobby Knuckles. And I said at that moment, at that point, he is now on my list of never picking against. The other two people on that list, Bilal Muhammad is never going to lose ever again because I'm always going to pick him. The other person is... It's Macy Barber at this point, but it is me. I'm not going to pick up against Macy Barber again at this point. But Dricus is not the better fighter here. Sean Strickland's the better striker of the two. Sean Strickland's probably the better grappler. And people mentioned in the chat, he is kind of a high-level black belt. But Dricus just keeps finding a way to get these wins. He just keeps finding a way. People call him a big Chad. He just kind of chads these fights out. And I will say, too, that Dricus Du Plessis, in my opinion, when it comes down, because people always going to say, oh, the cardio. He's 1 round, 2 rounds. Sean just going to run him over after the first. I don't know if that's true. I think he seems like one of these guys that looks like he's tired, probably is a little bit tired, but can work through that type of stuff. Can get what he needs to get even when he's tired. He reminds me a little bit of like a Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier always looks like he's kind of a little bit gassed, but he's always working through it. This could be a situation where the Pantoja Brandon Moreno. When Pantoja dominated that first round, and then the second round started, and you're like, oh man, I think Pantoja's fucking gassing. But he never actually gassed. He was able to, okay, he won that round. And then he won that round. And he was able to do enough. I think there's going to be a moment here where I fully believe that this fight's going to extend a little bit. Over 1.5, whatever it is. I think there's going to be a moment in that second round where DC, whoever's on the call, is going to be like, Not loving the body language out of DDP right now. I think this is where Sean's going to start taking over. And then it doesn't happen. And now Dricus is up 2-0. And then all of a sudden, the third round, he comes out, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, he's not fading yet. And I think there's a world where Dricus could win a decision in this fight because they're both durable guys. So, I think that the Dricus is going to be moving forward. I think that he could find a big shot, but even if he doesn't, I think there's a world where he can sneak out 3 rounds in this fight to win a decision. The thing that worries me, and the thing I keep thinking in the back of my hand, Angelo, and I'll end it with this, is when we saw Izzy at his reign, and I'm not comparing Izzy to Sean, because I think Izzy, even though he got beat by Sean, probably is a better fighter, especially in that moment. But he was coming in, not really a finisher type of guy, kind of the volume striker, if you will, and he fought Paulo Costa. And Paulo Costa was that next dude, the powerful guy, was walking through everyone, was the guy that was supposed to come in, a favorite against, not a favorite against Izzy, but it's kind of like an underdog favorite. Everyone was loving Paulo Costa to come in and really challenge Izzy. We could have a situation where Dricus comes in as that big, powerful guy and kind of gets outclassed by what is a better striker in Sean Strickland. So I'm kind of playing both sides here, but as you mentioned, you kind of have to. This is a close fight. It's so unpredictable. I'm going Dricus here because I can't pick against him, but I'm not playing either side on this. I played the over 1.5 a little bit, but I'm playing DDP here.
Yeah, listen, first of all, Junkie Nuts, this guy gets it. I've said many, many times we have the smartest community in the game. So
just stand, if you don't mind, scoot the chair back, stand up, and
excuse me, I'm breaking this down.
Do a little say, get out of my swamp.
Where I do tend to agree with the anti-DDP crew is the cardio. I know there's all these stories. Well, he had 1 nostril, now he has 2. We haven't seen it tested, though. Like, that Robert Whittaker fight was not that long. Like, we haven't seen it tested, and I do agree with the notion that if we're all of a sudden in the 3rd round, we know for a fact Sean Strickland's not going to be tired. For a fact. And maybe he can just march forward, rack up a couple of rounds, and then steal a close decision if Dricus can't get him out of there early.
I think that's a lazy way to look at this fight.
Well, I picked Dricus, so I'm just saying that is a concern, is that we know Sean does not get tired. And if there's not an early onslaught that gets him out of there, and Dricus does slow down, which we have seen him do, we have seen him slow down, then it could be an issue. Yes, small red.
I will say this. I've said this about fights before, and I think I'm pretty much right every time I say it. If Dricus doesn't win the first round, I think he's in trouble.
I think completely agree.
He definitely needs to win the first round. So even if he comes in and Sean has the pressure and he kind of drops that first round, I think he's fucked. But if he wins that first round, I think there's a world that I'm telling you, he can win a decision. People act like he can't win a decision. I think he can win a decision on this.
Well, I'm not saying he can't win a decision. I'm just, that it is a concern. We haven't seen it. We have not seen good cardio out of Dricus yet. We just haven't. We're hearing stories. He can only breathe through 1 nostril. Now he can breathe through 2. But
the guy's got a massive cock.
Jacob was literally sending me zoomed in pictures of of him in a Speedo on the beach. Jacob's like, that. You realize?
This guy just got out of like 40. He's in Toronto getting in the water. It's got to be just above freezing. Gets out of the water and still hogging.
So Jacob almost went all in on Dricus because of that alone. Oops, I'm all over the place here.
You got a little. Here we go. Yeah, that's the second time that we've brought this up, and you got a little bit flustered, a little bit. Let's see if you stumble over this next sentence. Here we go.
$8,200 for Sean Strickland, $8,000 for Dricus Du Plessis in DraftKings. This is a pick your side. If Sean Strickland wins, it's going to be 25 minutes of nonstop pressure, pace, and volume. If Dricus wins, likely a finish. He can win a decision, but likely a finish. Either way, this is a great price for a 5-round fight. You're going to have to pick your side. If you're building multiple lineups, build some with each guy. I think this is closer to 50-50. But pick your side and run with it. I am on the Dricus side. So is Jakey Boy, guys.
And let me like the stream, by the way. And here's basically the entire breakdown, and it comes from Dricus's coach, who I like a lot. If you listen to him, the embedded.
Yeah, I'm the one.
This is what he said. This is him talking about the fight, and listen to the confidence in his voice. And I think this is pretty much how simple this fight is.
Put easy on the back foot. Sean Strickland's boxing the entire time. And he's not a guy that can fight on his back foot. So well done to Sean, but good luck with trying that with Dricus, because Dricus doesn't go back.
He said Dricus doesn't go back.
Hopefully we don't get fucking copyright flagged for that.
No, it should be fine.
But if we do, they'll mute us. We do have a $5 super chat from Ace of Spades. He said, I remember when Jacob made an apology video to Angelo a while ago. That was about 3 full years ago. I hope history doesn't repeat itself after we fight. That, thank you very much for the 5 spot. I'm going to remove this so Jacob can see. That was because Jacob, one of his very first fight companions, was like calling me a stupid bit, like saying all these horrible things about me.
I don't ever.
And I was like, dude,
like
what
that.
are you doing? Why would you do that? And I got annoyed, so then he made the apology video. It was all beat up.
And that was on the count. That was on the UFC countdown, by the way. If you were interested in where that was, that's a good countdown. Both these guys are interesting guys.
Become a premium member. It's only $10 a month. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top, and you will unlock everything you need to have success, not only for this card, but 30 days worth of fight cards for a full month. That $10 will activate your account. You're going to get detailed data, metrics, and analytics. 38 columns of information to help you find your spots. You're going to get the line movement tracker. This gives you opening odds, current odds, win probability, and line movement for every single fighter on every single card. You're going to get more than just me and Baby Red. You're going to get the MMA Minute. He's got 30,000 on TikTok. He's giving you his picks, his bets, his round line leans. You're going to get Running Mouth MMA. There's 3 of them giving you their picks and bets. You're going to get Artem breaking down not only UFC, but LFA, PFL, and every other regional show as well. And you're going to get the Pick Doctor. He has developed an AI, Pick GPT. This is picking fights based solely off of historical data. All of this and so much more available to you today for only $10 a month at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. And don't forget to follow the socials. That costs you nothing.
And I'm verified on both of them.
Yep. And neither one of them cost them any money. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I think we flexed over 400.
You have to pee, don't you?
Because you see me fidgeting?
Yeah.
Over 400. I don't have to pee. I'm just sitting here for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Over 400 of you watch this live. We genuinely appreciate that. The almost 3,000 premium members and the almost 21,000 subscribers on YouTube. Guys, thank you so much. Let's have some success. The first pay-per-view of the year.
Like and subscribe.
All right. Oh, shit. I didn't hit end. End.